The second segment of the show today, we're talking to Alana McLaughlin, and she's talking about child abuse and neglect. And she gave us some information during the first segment dealing with her background in education, as well as the classic example of what many people consider to be the classic example of the Charles Lindbergh case. And now she will give us some additional information. And of course, Lana, let's continue our discussion in reference to child abuse and neglect. Why don't you give me some examples of what you consider to be child abuse and neglect?
Well, I want to go far back to 1813. I'm sure nobody watching this will remember this, but in 1813, Anne Poole and her husband James Poole were at home sleeping when their daughter Margaret Poole was kidnapped by Nancy Gamble with the help of Marie Thomas. Now, the next morning, they discovered that Margaret was not in her crib. So they went to the Baltimore, the newspaper, and then they went to that, and then they used their publicity of the kidnapping to help spread the word about Margaret's disappearance. Later, over 2 months later, on May the 1st, the same year, they found Margaret in a creek. She had been brutally whipped by Gamble, but it also killed her for she had broken bones and a skull fracture. Mm-hmm. Now, the next case I would like to talk to is a case I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with. It's called the Lisa Irwin case. Now, it's still open, and now Lisa Irwin and her mother, Debbie Irwin, and her father, James Irwin. James Irwin left for his work at approximately 5:40 on October the 5th. Now, Debbie, the mother, was still at home with her two sons, Michael Irwin and Bradley Irwin. Now, they were home, and so they decided to have dinner with a neighbor for their father was gone. So they invited the neighbor, and as the mother, at approximately like 6:40, the mother was making dinner for the neighbor and her two sons. Okay, so when the boys got done eating, they went to go watch a movie, so it was only Debbie and the neighbor. Debbie admits she had several glasses of wine and she felt a little drunk, so she went to bed. So when James came back home at 3:45 a.m. the next day, he went to the master bedroom, and apparently Michael had had a nightmare, so he was in the master bedroom, and Bradley explained everything that happened. So Michael was in the master bedroom with his mother, Debbie. So he went to baby Lisa's room, which they called her Pumpkin Pie.